Welcome back to my channel. My name is Dr. Robert, and for more than 30 years I've worked with patients who are 50 and older. Today, I want to begin with a very simple question, one that often leaves people silent when they hear it. Have you ever woken up in the morning and realized that your eyes no longer see as clearly as they did just the day before? Maybe you've noticed the morning paper has suddenly become harder to read, the letters start to blur, or when you drive at night, the headlights and street lamps explode into halos of blinding light. I once had a patient confess to me, "Doctor, sometimes I feel like I'm slowly losing the world I know. The faces of my loved ones aren't as sharp. The words I've read all my life suddenly seem foreign." Hearing this, I realized the fear was not just about losing sight, but about losing connection to life itself. If you've ever felt that way, I want you to know, you're not alone. And more importantly, it isn't always just about age. In fact, many of these changes happen quietly while we sleep. At the very moment we think our bodies are resting, our eyes are still facing tiny, constant stressors. Over the years, I've seen hundreds of patients with this struggle, and I've learned a simple truth that surprises many. Small habits, done at the right time, can make an enormous difference. I want you to imagine this with me. At night, while you drift into sleep, your eyes begin their own repair work. The retina, the macula, the tear glands, all working silently to recover. And at that very moment, if you provide your body with the right kind of nutrients, it's like handing a craftsman a sturdy pair of gloves. The work becomes easier, the repair stronger, the results more lasting. In more than 3 decades of practicing medicine, I've come to see something precious. It's not always the expensive technology or complicated drugs that save our vision. Sometimes it's the quiet gifts of nature, oils that seem ordinary in the kitchen but turn out to be faithful allies for the eyes. I remember Charles, a 72-year-old patient. He came to me with eyes so dry and burning every morning that no eye drops, no humidifier could bring relief. I suggested he try one simple natural oil before bedtime. 2 weeks later, he returned and said, "Doctor, for the first time in years, I opened my eyes this morning without pain." That wasn't magic. That was the power of caring at the right time, in the right way. And then there was Maria, a retired teacher. She used to dread the night when car lights would blind her on the road. We added just one small habit to her dinner routine, an oil rich in nutrients for the macula. After a month, she could sit on her porch at dusk, reading a book without squinting. Moments like that may seem small, but at a certain age they mean the world. I share these stories with you to remind you that what we're talking about here is not just dry science. It's real life. It's the way you look at your loved ones, the joy of reading the words you cherish, the safety of driving home at night. Research has shown us that natural oils are rich in nutrients like omega-3s, lutein, zeaxanthin, and powerful antioxidants. These can nourish the retina, protect the macula, and soothe the silent inflammation in the tear glands. But I don't want you to hear these as distant medical terms. Think of them more simply. Every drop of oil is like a clear lens protecting your vision, letting light pass through clean and sharp, untouched by the blur of time. And the most beautiful thing? These habits don't demand a complete lifestyle overhaul. They don't require massive costs. They ask only for a small commitment, a nightly ritual. Like brushing your teeth, at first you don't notice the change, but over the years that quiet consistency is what preserves a healthy smile. The eyes are no different. A spoonful of oil before bed, repeated over weeks and months, can bring a profound transformation. So I want you to ask yourself, have I ever treated my eyes as something that deserves daily care? Or have I only rushed to save them once my vision begins to fade? Too often, we wait until the problem arrives. But the truth is, our eyes need gentle, steady care from the start. And even if you're over 60, even if someone has told you, it's too late now, I want you to remember one thing. It is never too late to protect the light within your eyes. Tonight, I'd like to take you on a journey through 6 natural oils that modern science has shown to be powerful allies for your vision. They aren't instant miracles, but they are faithful companions, nourishing and protecting your eyes even while you sleep. And I believe that after hearing about them, you'll want to try at least one. Not just for your eyes, but for your freedom, your independence, and the simple, priceless moments of life. Now let's go a little deeper. I want to share with you 6 natural oils, 6 friends that have helped many of my patients keep their eyes clearer for longer. First, flaxseed oil. This is one of nature's simplest gifts, yet it's often overlooked. Flaxseed oil is rich in a plant-based omega-3 called ALA. I know, for many people, the word omega-3 might sound like something from a confusing commercial. But think of it more simply. Omega-3 is like the lubrication that keeps a machine from grinding to a halt. Our eyes need that same kind of lubrication. I remember Ronald, a 70-year-old who once told me, "Doctor, it always feels like there's sand in my eyes, but there's nothing there." In truth, it was silent inflammation of his tear glands. After adding flaxseed oil to his nightly routine, just 3 weeks later he called me to say, "For the first time in years, I slept through the night without eye pain waking me." Sometimes one small change is enough to quiet years of discomfort. Second, grapeseed oil. Who would have thought that such tiny seeds could hold such strength for the eyes? Grapeseed oil contains proanthocyanidins, powerful antioxidants many times stronger than vitamin C. They protect the tiny blood vessels that nourish the retina, the very place where light becomes vision. I once told a patient, "Think of your eyes as a city and those tiny blood vessels as the roads that carry light." Grapeseed oil is like the quiet team of workers keeping those roads from crumbling. One 65-year-old grandmother feared that her fading vision would rob her of seeing her grandchild's face clearly. After taking grapeseed oil consistently, she told me during a follow-up, "Now I can see the sparkle in my grandbaby's eyes every time they smile." Science might call that the effect of antioxidants, but I call it something simpler, the return of joy. Third, fish oil. This one is perhaps the most familiar, but familiar doesn't mean less important. In the retina lives a fat called DHA, which our bodies can only get abundantly from fish oil. Without DHA, the cells that let us see begin to weaken. I had a patient, Sharon, 74, who was diagnosed with early-stage macular degeneration. She was terrified, believing darkness was closing in. But we started her on a nightly dose of DHA-rich fish oil. 3 months later, her scans showed no further progression. And when she told me, "I no longer see the world getting blurrier each day," I saw in her eyes not just light, but hope restored. Fourth, extra virgin olive oil. Perhaps you've used olive oil in the kitchen, but I want you to see it differently, as a gentle medicine for aging eyes. Olive oil contains hydroxytyrosol, a rare antioxidant that protects the retina from the silent attacks of free radicals. Charles, the 72-year-old patient I mentioned earlier, is living proof. Just 1 spoonful each night turned his dry, painful mornings into calm beginnings. Once, he held my hand and said, "Just waking up without burning eyes makes me feel 10 years younger." Fifth, avocado oil. Its deep green color is a sign of lutein and zeaxanthin, nutrients your eyes desperately need. They are stored right in the macula, the small but vital area that allows you to read, recognize faces, and see fine detail. I once told Maria, a retired teacher, the nutrients in avocado oil act like the body's natural sunglasses, filtering out harmful blue light. After just a few weeks of regular use, she shared that she could sit on her porch and read as the sun went down. A simple scene, but filled with poetry. And that's what healthy eyes give back to life. And finally, black currant seed oil. This oil is less well known, but it has special benefits for people who often struggle with tired eyes from reading or screen work. Black currant seed oil contains gamma-linolenic acid, GLA, and anthocyanins, which improve blood flow in the eyes, support focus, and ease that heavy, strained feeling. I remember a retired engineer, 67, who loved reading blueprints and building furniture. But his eyes grew too tired, forcing him to abandon his passion. After some time on black currant seed oil, he came back smiling. "Doctor, now I can spend an entire afternoon on my designs without my eyes giving out." For him, that was the joy of returning to what he loved. So there you have it, 6 oils, 6 stories. Each different, yet all reminding me of one simple truth. The eyes need more than just light. They need nourishment. And sometimes, that nourishment comes from the smallest drops of oil, from the simplest habits found right in your own kitchen. You see, caring for your eyes isn't something distant or complicated. It's woven into the rhythm of everyday life. Each meal, each night of sleep. I often tell my patients, the eyes are the mirror of age, but they're also the lamp that lights the soul. If we keep them clear and bright, life itself feels less clouded by shadows. That's why, instead of waiting until your eyes grow tired and reaching only for medicine, start with the small, simple choices I've just shared. A drizzle of olive oil over your salad, a spoonful of flaxseed oil blended into your morning smoothie, or maybe just that daily fish oil capsule you take before bed. Over time, these tiny acts build up, and they become a priceless gift you give to your future self. I want you to pause and ask, 10 or 15 years from now, will I still want to sit and read stories to my grandchild? Will I want to see every line of my partner's smile? Will I want to watch the birds tracing their way across the evening sky? If your heart whispers yes, then today is the day to begin. And if something in these words has touched you, I invite you to do two things. First, try it tomorrow. Don't just listen and set it aside. Second, if you found this video helpful, please hit that subscribe button so I can walk beside you, week after week, sharing gentle steps to keep your eyes and your health clear, strong, and full of love. I'd also love for you to leave a comment below. Of the oils I mentioned, which ones have you tried? And how did they make you feel? I read every note, and often your stories become lessons for all of us. Thank you for spending this time with me today. May your eyes and your spirit always find the light in each new day.